This movie was disappointing to say the least. It was one of my favorite childhood movies. I watched it all the time. I still have it on DVD. It's not as good as I remember. It's decent. It's a kid's movie. What can you expect? Mark Hamill actually voices not one, but two characters in this movie. This small time owner and he also voices the villain in the movie, which the villain was one of my main problems with this movie. They made him way too obvious. He was constantly asking to leave, constantly blowing them off, trying to say, hey, we need to leave this camp. Let's go to the other camp. And then, the cop ranger that was also the bad guy showed up twice, and both times he just kind of blows him off. And he also has a bit of a sexist comment, which I did not expect in a Scooby-Doo movie. He's like, why don't you just stick to being pretty? Of course, he turns out to be the bad guy. No surprise there. He just shows up twice, and both the times he's just pretty suspicious. And then there's this scene like 2 or 3 minutes before we find out who the other dude is. Babyface already, who was this gangster's partner who knows where the treasure is or whatever. We see a newspaper with a short, bald person. And it basically looks exactly like one of the characters in the movie. But later, when Velma unmasked him and she doesn't unmask him, she unmasked the cop. Because Babyface already's trying to get away with the treasure. She's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. What? How? It's pretty obvious, but whatever. Of course, Matthew Lillard and Fred Welker and Mindy Kahn all reprise their roles for this movie, and they all do fine. I wasn't a huge fan of the thing with Fred and Luke. Just, Luke was way too much like Fred. And then they constantly had the same gag of Fred trying to teach Luke something and then Luke being way better than him. It wasn't very funny. But overall, it is a decent movie, and it's not too long. And unlike Fred 3, the stupid camp versus camp thing isn't unbearable. But, yeah, that's really about it. There really isn't too much to this movie. I really like the woodsman design, and I wish he would have shown up more. But since the movie's only an hour and 12 minutes, he shows up like 3 times. And then the only other time we see him is when he's getting unmasked. Wish we would have saw more of him. But, yeah, that's about it.